If you're looking for a shore excursion for your next Mexican Riviera cruise that's cheesy in the best possible way, then make sure to book the Cava de Marcelo tour during your ship stop in Ensenada, Mexico. Hi, I'm Tiffany from Destination for Vacation. Thanks for joining me. After boarding a comfortable bus just steps away from your ship, you'll leave the bustle of the town and wind your way into the foothills of the Sierra de Juárez. Along the way, your guide will share interesting stories about the region, the vineyards, the ranchers, and the families that have been working this land for generations. In better weather, this drive offers some pretty striking views, which unfortunately you won't see in this video because it rained almost the entire way coming and going. This is the best I could capture during our drive. Before you know it, the foothills unexpectedly give way and you'll find yourself in a wide valley basin dotted with ranches. La Cava de Marcelo is part of a family-owned ranch that has been making cheese here since 1911. It was started by a Swiss-Italian immigrant named Pedro Ramonetti Bonetti, who settled in this valley and eventually became a Mexican citizen. He specifically chose Holstein cows over Swiss Jersey because he considered the milk flavor to be superior. 4 generations later, they're still producing cheese using the same all-natural recipe. No hormones, no preservatives, and no pasteurizing that would dull the flavor. Just milk, thyme, and traditional methods. Today, the farm produces about 900 pounds of cheese a day. The cheese cave itself can store up to 10,000 wheels. This is not a tiny hobby farm. It's a full operation with deep family roots. After the option of purchasing a refreshment and making a new friend, you're off to start your visit with a tour of where the cows are milked. The milking equipment is modern stainless steel, but the process is still very hands-on. In addition to the cheeses they're known for, the farm also produces butter, ricotta cheese, and ice cream. After learning about the milking process, you'll walk over to where the milk is mixed with rennet and salt and then formed and pressed. Farmer's cheese that had been made just before our arrival was still in their molds, and you could try some then and there. It was really good. Next, the hardest part of the tour, choosing which flavor of freshly made ice cream to try. Just kidding, you could have both. That day's flavors were pistachio and a sweet cream cookie crumble. Both of them were good, but the pistachio was phenomenal and very similar in consistency to a gelato. From there, we made the short walk over to the modern building that houses the actual underground cave built for the aging cheese. Upon entering the building, you'll see pictures of the various family members who have run the business for well over 100 years. Then you'll walk down a flight of stairs to find a beautiful seating area with thick stone walls and views of the glass-enclosed room that holds hundreds of aging cheese wheels. You'll sit down to a table where you'll sample 7 kinds of cheeses, starting with the fresh varieties, plain, basil, pepper, and rosemary, as well as 3 aged cheeses, 6 months, 1 year, and almost 2 years. Some are mild and creamy, others sharper and more complex. There's also crostini topped with their homemade butter and ricotta cheese. A glass of their house red wine accompanies your cheese plate. Sitting there underground, tasting the cheese while sipping the wine and looking at all those aging wheels through the glass felt both rustic and refined at the same time. After the tasting, you'll be allowed to enter the glass-paneled room to get a closer view and learn more about the aging process. While I liked everything about the tour, this may have been my favorite part. Eventually, it was time to head on over for lunch. As you exited the cheese cave, a sampler flight of craft beer and even more cheese was waiting for you as kind of a grab and go to take on the short stroll over to the dining area. Lunch was included in the tour price. They served a grilled portobello mushroom topped with their house-made cheese, along with a quesadilla slice and a small salad. Everyone at my table enjoyed lunch. margaritas, craft beers, and sodas were available for an additional charge. After we finished eating, there was time to wander the grounds and visit their little shop that sold cheeses, artisan salts, and jams. You could browse at your own pace with no pressure. Everything felt very relaxed. Personally, I found the entire experience to be utterly delightful and quite memorable. But before you book this tour, there are 3 things to keep in mind. First, this is a working dairy farm, and some of the online reviewers seem to have forgotten that. If you're bothered by typical farm smells or random flies when you're outside, then avoid visiting during the height of summer. I toured in February when it was cooler and experienced no unpleasantness whatsoever. The facility was clean and the staff were warm and knowledgeable. Also, due to the age of the cheese cave, there are no elevators. So if you're physically unable to navigate a flight of stairs, you probably don't want to choose this tour. And finally, if you're prone to motion sickness on curvy, mountainous roads like I am, consider taking something before you go. It's a smooth drive, just fairly curvy for about a half hour. This tour felt like stepping into a family story that's been unfolding for more than a century. And when I find myself in Ensenada again, I will absolutely take this tour a second time, because I enjoyed it that much. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, as that helps increase visibility of videos from small channels like mine. And if you're planning a Mexican Riviera cruise, consider subscribing and hitting that little notification bell, because several more Mexican shore excursion videos are on their way. Until I see you again, here's hoping that your next adventure is just around the corner.